Welcome to Professional Truck Driving School. We will do today the inside pre-trip check, and this is the modernized test. So once you get inside the truck, the first thing you do is have the seat belt on. And for the seat belt, you want to make sure that the seat belt has no cut or rips. It's secured and it latches and unlatches, and then you latch it again. And then you're gonna do the safe start. How you gonna do the safe start? So with one hand on the steering and the other hand checking that the both spring brakes or parking brakes are applied. You just need to pull them gently out to make sure that they are applied. And since we are doing a manual truck, so we will do it on the manual way. So you press the clutch all the way to the floor and make sure that the gear is neutral. And then you start the ignition and wait till all the lights on the dashboard are off. And then you start the engine and you release the clutch slowly. Now you need to build the air pressure to the max. So you need to make sure that the air tanks are full. So we're gonna build the air pressure to make sure that we have full air in the tanks. So build the air pressure till you see here the air gauge is almost 120 to 130 or 120 to 140 psi, and you need to hear the sneeze. So you can see that the air gauge here are going up, and here we go, we hear the sneeze. So we will start with the first brake check, which is the tractor parking brake. So for the tractor parking brake, we need at least 100 psi, and we have it. And then you shift to gear and we go to first gear. So press the clutch and shift to first gear. Keep the tractor brake applied, and then you just release the trailer brake. Now we're ready to test, so we just need to release the clutch slowly to feel the tug. Here we go, the truck didn't go anywhere. So the parking brake test is a pass. Apply both parking brakes, and then you shift back to neutral and take off the clutch, and both feet are flat on the floor. The second test is the trailer parking brake. Again, we need 100 psi, so we need to make sure that every time we do these tests, we have at least 100 psi. Now we have 100, so we start the tests. 100 psi is there. We press the clutch all the way to the floor, and we shift to gear, which is first gear. And because we are testing the trailer parking brake, so we make sure it's applied, and we just release the tractor parking brake. We push it down to release it, and now we try the brake by just trying to move. So we're gonna release the clutch slowly to feel the tug, and the truck shouldn't move. Here we go, truck is not moving, so this test is a pass. So we apply the parking brakes, both are applied, then we shift back to neutral, and we release the clutch, and both feet now are flat on the floor. Now test number 3 is the service brake. For the service brake, foot service brake, so we need to move forward with both hands on the steering, and then we press the clutch and brake to stop, and we test the brake. So how we gonna do this? Again, test number 3 is the foot surface brake. We need minimum air pressure of 100 psi, and we have it. Then we shift to first gear. So we press the clutch all the way to the floor, and we shift to first gear. Then we release both spring brakes one by one. So tractor first. And when we release the trailer, in order not to roll backward or forward, once we release the trailer, we push the foot brake at the same time. So release the trailer and press the brake, the foot brake. Now you release the clutch slowly, and once you feel the power, take off the foot brake and move forward with both hands on the steering, and then you press the clutch and brake to stop, and unlock your fingers around the steering. Truck stops straight and no movement on the steering wheel. So the test is a pass. So we have to apply the spring brakes, and then we shift back to neutral. And then we take off the pedals from the floor. We take off the pedals, and both feet are flat on the floor. Now we move to test number 4, which is the governor cut-off test. For the governor cut-off test, all what we have to do is to make sure that we hear the sneeze between 120 and 140 psi. So in this test, we just need to rev or push the fuel pedal to make sure that we can just make it fast, build up the air pressure between 120 and 140, and here, once we at that range, we have to hear the sneeze to make sure that the governor works fine. Here we go. So the governor cutoff test is a pass. After that, we're gonna do test number 5, which is the leakage rate test. For that leakage rate test, the first thing we need to do is we secure the truck on first gear. So we press the clutch, and then we shift to first gear. After that, we turn off the engine, and we release the clutch. We don't need the clutch as long as the engine is off. Now we turn the ignition on, just the ignition. And the most important that you do not have to forget is to release both spring brakes. So we release the tractor first. The hissing stops, so we release the trailer now. And we wait till the hissing sound stops. So this means that the gauge stabilizes, the air gauge stabilizes. So we wait. Come closer here. So now the hissing sound stops, and you can see that we have 100 psi. So now, before we start the test, we have 100 psi. So let's just go back what we did so far. We turned off the engine after we secured the gear on the first gear. So first we secure on first gear, then we turn off the engine, and then we turn the ignition on, just the ignition, and finally we release both spring brakes and wait till the air gauge stabilizes. Now the air gauge stabilized, so we have 100 psi. And now the test starts from here. We have to push the foot brake for 60 seconds and the air loss should not be more than 4 psi in a combination vehicle. So we start. We push the brake and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. We take off the brake and we can see now we have almost 97, so the test is a pass. We didn't lose more than 4 psi. Now we keep everything as is, and we move to test number 6, which is the warning device test. For the warning device test, we just need to pump the foot brake or the surface brake, and at or above 55 psi, the warning light should turn on. That's the warning device test. So all what we need to do is just pump or fan down the foot brake. And watch just the warning light till it pops out. Here we go. Let's see how much we have. We have 60, so the test is a pass. Now we move to the last brake test, which is test number 7, the emergency pop out tests. Both parking brakes, tractor and trailer, should pop out between 20 and 45 psi. So between 20 and 45 psi, both parking brakes must pop out. Trailer first, tractor second, to prevent a jackknife. And all what we have to do now, leave everything as is and just continue fanning down or pumping the surface brake. And while you are doing this, just watch the knobs. Don't watch the gauge now, to make sure that both pop out. So we see that both popped out, and how much we have now? We have almost 30 psi. So within the range, they both popped out. So the test is a pass. Now we are done with testing the brakes, but we have to secure the vehicle. This is a very important thing, that after you test all the brakes, you do 7 brake tests. So after that, you need to push the clutch and go back to neutral, and then you turn off the ignition, take off the clutch, take the key out, and just tell the examiner, now I am done with the first part of the inside, which is testing the brakes. Now we're gonna do the second part of the inside. We're gonna safe start the engine again to do the remaining of the inside. So we're gonna do the safe start again. Safe start the engine again. Again, how we safe start the engine? We first double check that the spring brakes are applied, which are applied. Then we press the clutch all the way to the floor to make sure it's neutral. We have the key here. We start the ignition and wait for the lights to turn off. Okay, now we start the engine and we release the clutch slowly. So now we start with the lighting indicators. For the lighting indicators, we have the left turn signal on, working, right turn signal working, 4-way flashers working, and the high beam is working. ABS light and diff lights are off. Then we have 3 emergency devices. We have the three reflective triangles right here. They are operational and not damaged and weighted base. And then we have the fire extinguisher right here next to me, type ABC or BC10, fully charged and rated, and it's secured with the safety pin is intact. And we have 6 extra fuses, 1 of each type. After that, we have the windshield and mirrors. For the windshield, we have, it's clean, no cracks or flaws, no obstruction of view, only the safety sticker right here. This is the only allowed sticker on the windshield, which is up to date and now expired. And for the mirrors, the mirrors are secured, not cracked, and they are adjusted for driving, and the brackets for the mirror are also secured, not damaged. We have the wipers and washers. For the wipers and washers, they are secured and they are not damaged and they work smoothly, and the washers are working. Then we have the heater and defroster. So we're gonna start the fan and try the heat. The first position is the defroster. It's working. We have the front working and the floor, it's working. Then we turn it off. And finally, for the inside, we have the horns. We have the electric horn. It's working, and the air horn, it's also working. So for the inside, we check only 6 things: lighting indicators, emergency devices, windshield and mirrors, wipers and washers, heater and defroster, and finally number 6 is the horns. After that, we are done with the inside. So if the examiner wants to check the external lights, that's okay. If not, you're ready to turn off the engine and keep the key in the cup holder and get out safely, doing 3 steps of contact to start with the outside check. So now, how we turn off the engine? We just turn off the engine. We take the key out of the ignition and we keep it on the cup holder, and now we are ready for the outside check. Thank you very much.